So in this video, we're going to talk specifically about the expansion of presidential powers in terms of Federalist 70, and then we're going to look at presidential communication. So Federalist 70 is one of those Federalist papers from the time that the Constitution is being ratified. And in Federalist 70, Alexander Hamilton is going to address the current concerns that the Constitution gave the president too much power. So in Federalist 70, he's going to argue that a single president is going to be better because they're going to be more efficient. So they're going to be able to respond to a crisis much faster if necessary. When you spread that executive authority among several individuals, it's going to reduce any kind of effectiveness and decisiveness. So a single president is going to better protect against foreign attacks and provide for administration of laws. Hamilton is also going to say that a single president is going to be preferred because they're going to be held more accountable. Okay, so a corrupt or ineffective leader can't hide within a group. So that's going to protect the liberty and property of citizens. So in terms of the expansion of presidential power, I've posted a note sheet that's really just an extension of notes that talks about how presidential power has expanded over time and the different presidents throughout history. So make sure that you go and look at that and just know how it is expanded with the different presidents. But in terms of modern times, we have to look at the war on terror because there has been this question of, does the president have too much power? So combating threats to national security from terrorist networks has made the question of presidential power more controversial because in times of crisis, no one can act more quickly than the president. So with the war on terror, we know that Congress has the power to declare war. But with that war powers resolution, we also know that the president is able to send troops to combat situations for certain amounts of time without any kind of authorization from Congress. So in terms of sending troops to Afghanistan and Iraq and other parts of the Middle East, presidents have been able to make unilateral decisions. So again, that goes back to this question of, does the president have too much power, or do we need a strong leader to make those unilateral decisions in these times of fighting terrorism? Okay, so there's this question of presidential power. So moving on to presidential communication. So public opinion can expand or restrain presidential power. So this is where we're talking about approval ratings. So how does the public see the president? So depending on how the president does overseas in terms of foreign policy, how the economy looks, how the unemployment rate looks, how the media portrays the president, that can affect public opinion. And when public opinion of the president is really high, they are going to have a little bit more power and be able to get by with a little bit more, as opposed to when approval ratings are really low. So if there's any kind of scandal, foreign policy failures, a really weak economy, so on and so forth. Okay, so the higher the president's approval ratings, the more power the president is going to have. And a lot of the approval ratings are going to be tied to the president's connection to the American people. So modern technology and the ease of travel have helped connect the president to the American people. So over time, as technology has increased, presidents have been able to speak out on the radio, speak out on TV, and now we even have social media. So presidents are going to be able to connect directly to the American people through social media. So it's efficient, it's instantaneous, and we know that President Trump has used social media to connect to the American people. So recent presidents have used technology and public appearances to get public support, all right? So connecting to people on social media, hosting those rallies, speeches, things of that nature to try to increase that public support, increase that public approval, okay? So the president, there are a couple of tactics concerning presidential communication. The first is bully pulpit. So this is going to be appeals to the public to pressure other branches to support his policies. And these are really similar, okay? Going public. This is a tactic where presidents reach out directly to the American people in hope that the people will in turn put pressure on their representatives and senators to press for a president's policies. So when I think of bully pulpit, I think of the State of the Union address. So, in the State of the Union, even though the president is speaking directly to Congress, he's also speaking to the American people. We know that it's on TV, so everyone is able to watch. So, this is where the president can talk about his policies and recommend legislation. And this is going to reach the public, okay? And knowing, gaining that support from the public for his policies can put pressure on other branches to carry those out. The same goes with going public, okay? So if the president holds a rally or posts something on social media regarding legislation and public policy, there's this hope that the people, the American people, are going to in turn put pressure on their representative or their senator to carry out those policies. So that is bully pulpit and going public. And that is where we're going to stop with this video.